just put it a legendary and wondering if it's worth your books? Today I'm counting down worst legendary champions in raid, the ones that will waste your resources and will not bring any value in return. Hello, I'm Sola and today we will review the worst legendaries in the raid Shadow Ledges. They're the ones which are not performing well anywhere, not in the PvE, not in the PvP content. There are quite a few of them, but we will list at least like a 15 maybe. And so without any further ado, let's jump to it. And the first legendary on our list is from Undead Horde faction. I don't have him, fortunately, but yeah, where was it? Elegeos. So it's a legendary support champion. A1 attacks one enemy, has 25% chance of placing block active skills. With books, it will be 35, not enough. The chance is increased by 0.75% for every 1 HP of the champion loses. So it's like very strange condition. Block active skills sounds okay, but the chance is very low. So let's move on. Attacks one enemy, puts the target skill on cooldown, place block buffs, debuffs for 2 turns. If the enemy team has any duplicates of the target champion, we'll also put the skills on cooldown and place block buffs, debuff on them for 2 turns. First of all, like this should be on all the enemy team if you are legendary, not on one champion. And the duplicate of the same champion, it's quite a rare occasion. So so far his kit looks like a more PvP oriented. Let's review more. Attacks all enemies has a 75% chance of removing 2 random buffs. Also have has 75% of decreasing all enemies turn meters by 20%. Decrease enemy turn meters by further 10% for each removed buff. So we have it's 1 till 100%. So it should be not 2 buffs, but all buffs. If we are legendary, not epic champion. Prevents this champion death and keeps them alive for 1 HP when hit by fatal hit. If this skill prevents this champion death, heals them by 30% of their max HP. Yeah. So he has nice passive, which can be useful on the PvP right now, but the rest of the kit, so like a block active skills, is not reliable. Block buffs only 1 target, and it's not enough. And attacks all enemies and remove the random buffs. It should be without the attack and from all the enemies. So his kit like arena oriented, but skills power capped, and it cannot perform. And apart from arena, this kit will not work anywhere. So this is why he's a complete useless champion right now. We need to buff his A2 to be its master skill, and this one to remove all the buffs. Yeah. So maybe in this and increase the chance of block active skills, then maybe he will be useful on arena. So next champion, it's actually again from the Undead Hordes faction. So it's Kartosis, another support champion. A1 attacks all enemy, has a 30% chance of stealing 1 random buff from each enemy. So with books it will be 40-50% chance. Pretty okay skill. Place increase attack buff and increase crit rate buffs on all allies for 2 turns. It's not enough. Just increase attack. At least it needs to be like extra turn or maybe fill turn meters or something else. It's like increase attack, increase crit rate, and this is it. So it's, yeah, not enough. Removes all debuffs from all allies, then heals them and fills their turn meters, the amount of which is healed increase according to the number of debuffs removed from them. The amount of by which is turn meters filled increase according to the number of debuffs removed by them. So if they didn't have debuffs enough, so the heal will be relevant and removes all debuffs. So his skills doesn't do enough according to current meta. So apart from the feeling, it needs to apply some buffs, for example strengthen, I don't know, or block debuffs as a Python has. And this one need to have something else, like I don't know, increase turn meter of the champions or decrease turn meter of the enemy champions. So his skills like a more for the epic champion, not for the legendary. So we need to add some extra effects if we want to have him to make him viable. Increase ally speed in all dungeons by 33%. It's strong, but why dungeons? Maybe change it to arena instead, because he's looks like more arena oriented champion for me, because like you can make him like a copy of arbiter. Add a 2-meter increase here, so we have a 2-meter feel with attack, we have a speed aura for the arena, and we have a protection like a Python style, so block debuffs and cleanse. So and it's pretty, and yeah, it's still in one random buff. Then it will be perfect support for the arena with maybe not 33%, but okay, 25% speed on arena or 30%. So yeah, but right now it's like a epic champion level, unfortunately. Next one on our list is from the Skinwalkers faction, and this dude, the name is what was this? War Chief. So he's a defense legendary champion. A1 attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has 25% chance of placing provoke debuff for 1 turn. Each hit also heals this champion and the ally with the lowest HP. So pretty good. So it's 25, and if we increase it, will be like 35, and 3 times it's almost like guaranteed that you will apply. So sounds okay for the Hydra, for example, or for the Magma Dragon. So A1 is okay. Attacks again one enemy, not a good sign when it's again one enemy. Attacks one enemy, steals all buffs from the target, and plays provoke debuff for them for 3 turns. It also has a 50% chance of placing provoke debuff on all other enemies for 1 turn. Then places shield buff for all allies for 2 turns. The value of the shield is proportional to this champion defense. So steal the buffs from 1 target, maybe make it stealing from all the targets instead, because like hitting 1 target and doing something to 1 target is not enough, unfortunately, right now. If you see generally, if you see champion that do single target skills, the chances are really high that this champion will not bring you a lot of value. So passive, whenever ally is under shield buff, is hit by an enemy, heals this ally by 25% damage, deal to the shield. Okay, increase this champion defense by 10% for each enemy under provoke debuff. Will also increase this champion defense by 5% for each enemy not under provoke debuff. So this one, better to make it stackable. For example, like each time this champion applies the provoke, the increase stacks. So then together with A1, it like will be a good starter kit for the Hydra battles, for example. So we have a provoke, we have like a ramp damage, and on A2, yeah, we need maybe instead of provoke, block debuffs, for example. Then it will be block debuffs plus provoke champion. But at the moment, you can only use him maybe on the Magma Dragon as a provoke champion, but the rest is he's not doing enough, unfortunately. Let's move on to the next champion. It's from the Shadow King faction, and actually this is Jinro. I think it's the last reward for the Heart Doom Tower secret rooms. Yeah, with the Warring Champion, or I may be mistaken, one of the last. So let's check him. Attacks on enemy has a 50% chance of increasing the cooldown of the target skill by 2 turns, and it with the books it will be 60%. Not guaranteed. Maybe do it 2-hitter instead, so to guarantee the effect. Attacks one enemy again. Place a stun debuff for 2 turns. Will ignore the block debuffs and block damage buffs. One target, one enemy stun. Places increase defense buff on this champion for 3 turns and counter attack buff for 2 turns. This is not enough for Void Legendary. For the skill, it needs to have like extra turn then after that, because like just place increase defense and counter attack and skip the turn, it is not enough. Passive effect, increase this champion defense each time the counter attack defense resets every time the champion gets a turn. I wouldn't reset it if we just to cap it, for example, to 30% and have it there. When attacking, converts this champion resistance into additional accuracy. So it's quite strange. And even when, so it's like Mitrala when we other way around. But why only attacking? Make it permanent. He's void legendary, so he can have such effects as Mitrala has it. Active effect. At the end of the champion turn, places provoke debuff on one turn on all enemies under increased attack. So this one, if they don't have increased attack, it will not work. And so he's designed as a controller, but his kit is not consistent. Like, okay, you place increased defense and counter attack, but they can just ignore you, and you skip the turn for that. You place the stun, but only on one target. Why not to make it like a team wide? A1 is almost good, but just make it a 2-hitter to guarantee that you will reset the champions. And regarding the provoke on enemies under increased attack, maybe make other effects. For example, if this champion under increased defense, so we can guarantee the effect, then place the provoke on them. Because like they can be without increased attack and the skill will not work completely. So our kit should synergize with each other. So far it was it looks like a not cooked controller. That's why he's not taking any place on the arena. Yeah, he's definitely built as arena champion, but we need to cook a little bit more his kit. So next champion, it's again the Undead Horse. Undead Horse has many legendaries and many of them are really bad. So it's Blood Gorge. Attack, legendary champion, A1. Attacks on enemy 2 times, has a 50% chance of placing 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. And it's with books it will be 70, 60, 75. So this is what I was talking about. So two hitter with good chance, and we almost guarantee apply decreased defense. For example, it can work on the clan boss Demon Lord. So decreased defense. Let's check. Attacks all enemies, puts one of the target hits skills on the cooldown. This is not enough. Only one skills. Why not to make it like all the skills on cooldown, for example, as Alice has right now. So one of the each target skills, it's not reliable. A3. Attacks on enemy will ignore defense. Enemy skilled by the skill cannot be revived. Block revive. So again, it's not enough. Maybe to make double hitter to make sure we will kill the enemy. Or for example, that we ignore the stone skin because everyone's now is the stone skin. So he doesn't do enough to be viable nuker, unfortunately, at the moment. And one target attack on enemies, but cooldowns. So he a little bit power crept. We need to enhance his skills a little bit more. So for example, this make for all the skills, this make a double hitter with ignoring some of the buffs, for example, I don't know, shield, if you don't want to make him ignore the stone skin. And E1 is good. I'm not sure about the decreased defense debuff, maybe to make it something else more, but decreased defense is also okay. So A1 is okay. We need to improve A2 and A3 to make him viable. I mean, you can use him on the low tier arena as a raw damage dealer, but he cannot compete with any good damage dealer to be viable. So yeah, for that we need to give him some utility, because right now, if you want to be a good damage dealer, you need to have some utility. Next champion is from the Orgreen tribes, and this is the War Mother. Where was she? Yeah, here is it. Attack champion. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 50% chance to place decreased debuff for 2 turns. The chance is solid. The effect is not that good. Maybe attack all enemies to place decreased attack. Because like a decreased attack on one target, it's not that good. And Yeah. Attacks all enemies, place 2 bomb debuffs that detonate after 2 turns. Bomb damage increase against bosses. So it's okay-ish bomb skill. So 2 bombs and in 2 turns. Maybe to make it better, before she applies increase attack on her. Attacks all enemies, instantly denies all bombs debuff if this champion is under increased attack. So, and we don't have increased attack on our skin kit. So, so she cannot actually activate this skill on her own. And yeah, to make her viable, add increased attack here. Then we can detonate the bombs with our second skill, and maybe change her A1 to something else. I don't know, to, for example, block buffs, for example, to be able to place the bombs on her A1. And yeah, so we just need a small tweak for her to make her viable. So far, she is not competing with other bomb champions as we have, for example, Gnishak or Astralit. Yeah. So far, because her kit just doesn't work without some external champion which can make it. So next champion is from the, I believe he was from Undead Hordes again. Yeah, what a terrible faction. Harvest Jack. He was a previous fusion. He's HP champion. Attacks enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 25% chance of stealing 1 random buff from the target. Each hit has also 25% chance of placing fear debuff for 1 turn if the target has no active buffs. This chance is increased by 100% if all buffs were stolen from the target. A lot of conditional stuff here. So if there was no buffs, then you will not apply the fear, and like a second half of the skill you can just throw it away. And 25% chance with the books, it will be 35% chance to steal in 1 random buff from the target. It's okay. I think the skill is okay. Attacks all enemies, place block buffs debuff for 2 turns on targets under fear buffs. So again, if there has no fear, then block buffs will not be placed. Removes any increased attack buff from the target and replaces it with a decreased attack. Removes any continuous heal and replaces it with the poison. The number of poison and is equal to number of continuous heals. So simply, if this champion doesn't have fear on them, doesn't have increased attack or continuous heals, it doesn't do anything. It's only does 0 damage. So none of these debuffs are work, and you need to make them less conditions, just to place block debuff and decrease attack, for example, and make one of them conditionals. Because right now, if they don't meet the criteria, this skill just does nothing, just attack and that is it. So it's not good design. A3. Attacks all enemy has a 75% chance of placing True Fear debuff for 1 turn, else it places decreased speed debuff for 2 turns, and decrease each target turn meter by 15% if the True Fear debuff is placed. So this is good conditions. So we apply the True Fear, and if it was placed, then we decrease the turn meter, and the chance is really high if you have enough accuracy and the affinity is proper. Has 75% chance of placing sleep debuff 1 turn if the True Fear debuff is not placed. So it's even better. So if we fail to place the True Fear, then we can place the sleep instead. So this one is a good skill for the control. When attacked, decrease the duration of all buffs on the attacker by 1 turn. This is one also is good, but the problem is that his A2 doesn't do enough. A1 is not consistent, and unfortunately everyone is now in the stone skin on the arena, so you need to weigh to actively, not the reactively, like here when they hit you, to remove the stone skin from them. And overall, I think another problem with him that he doesn't do enough damage. So yeah, we need to remove conditions here, and this one is okay, and maybe increase the chance of stealing buff here, then maybe he will be a little bit better. but overall maybe we need like a complete rehaul of this kit, because he's not performing in arena and on other places like Hydra. You can only have block buffs and increase attack, decrease attack. If you make them without the condition and the poison, then yeah, maybe he will be good for Hydra. And decrease speed, yeah, then he will be really nice. So just make him a Hydra specialist. So make him place decrease speed, and make him place like a block buffs and decrease attack on all the enemies, and it will be nice. And we can like forget about fears. And this is one also good for Hydra. They will attack, and if there are any buffs on them, they will be just disappear. So let's move on actually to the next champion. It's from the Or Green tribes, and this is I think I have him. Have like even 3 copies of him. Yeah, Dragul. So this is another support champion. A1 attacks one enemy, has 20% chance of placing stun debuff for 1 turn. And with the books, it will be 30%. It's not enough for the legendary. It needs to be 50% at least. Or make it like, if you have it 40%, make it double hitter. Then it will be viable. Places a 50% increase attack buff on and the 60% increase defense on all allies for 2 turns. Also places block damage for 1 turn on allies with less than 30%. So remove the condition, just make that he plays all these buffs always. Then it will be good skill. Active effect. Place shield buff equal 50% to this champion max HP on all allies for 3 turns. This is good, that's his HP, so you can make him tanky, then the shield will be good. Passive effect heals all allies of this champion max HP whenever shield buff placed by the skills expires, is removed or broken by enemy attack. Broken will also counter-attack the enemy with break the shield instantly before the enemy remaining damage. So, but only placing the shield, even with the passive effect that's they will be healed, is not enough, unfortunately. So this skill, yeah, again, increase attack and defense and the shield, it is not enough to be viable on the arena, unfortunately, because stun we can only use for arena. So if we want to protect block damage always, this one, apart from the shield, we need to do something else. I don't know. Add some other effect to make him viable. And the aura, all HP on all battles, 25, make it 30%. Why 25? So far again, his kit is power crept, not not cooked enough for the current meta. That's why he's not good anywhere. Let's move on to the next champion, and this is a champion from the Shadow King faction. This is, I think I pulled him recently, and no, he's he's not actually from the Shadow King. He's a ninja, but he's from the Undead Horde faction, and this is Saito. See, this guy could play in the Shadow King faction, no problem. I think he was implemented before the Shadow King faction was added. So A1 attacks one enemy 2 times, has a 50% chance of placing decreased defense for 2 turns. Place an extra hit if the decreased defense is placed. 50% up to 60%. Yeah, pretty good. And if you build him with accuracy, so it's a triple hit with decreased defense as a damage dealer, it's okay. Attacks one enemy before attacking, places 50% increased attack and crit damage on this champion for 2 turns. If the champion defense is higher than the target defense, no. Decrease the cooldown of the skill by 1 turn if the target has more than 50%. So this one need to be changed if the target, if this champion attack is higher than target attack, because we are attack champion, we will not build defense, so this will not work. And only one enemy, we have 2 skills with 1 enemy, it's already not good for the damage dealer. And again, one enemy attacks one enemy when attacks all enemies except the initial target if there are 3 or more enemies alive. So we cannot have all enemies attack, but they need to be all alive. It's inflicts 20% more damage if the first hit, if the target has higher max HP than this champion. This one is good. So like we hitting the tanky support champion, and then we apply more damage. We'll ignore 7.5% of enemy defense for each time this champion attacks the same target. Enemies consecutive attacks or turns stack up to 30%. The stack will be lost at the reset of the champion targets and attacks. I wouldn't add the reset, just add him, maybe make it a smaller ramp, but ramp it up to 30% over course of the fight. So the problem with him that he all of his skills are single target attacks. Like, okay, A3 can be multiple targets, but under condition. And he doesn't bring any utility mostly, only decreased defense. He doesn't have any survivability, so that's why he's not good. So you need to make his A3 attacks all enemies always. This one not to reset, to ramp his damage. So if he can survive long enough, he can ramp his damage up. And this one replace increased defense, higher defense to higher attack. So to make it viable. And Aura, I'll attack in dungeons. And this one changed to Arena because this kit is not needed in dungeons actually. It's okay for the Arena if we can stack our increase ignore defense, we can apply decrease defense, and then it can be viable somehow on the Arena, but right now, no, it needs to be changed. Next one, it's another damage dealer actually from the Orcs faction, Nogdar. Attacks on enemy, heals this champion by 10% of their max HP, grants an extra turn if this attack kills an enemy. A really good skill, so kill an enemy, get an extra turn. Yeah, and he's damage dealer, so he can do that, so he can hit the low HP enemy. Yeah, why not? Attacks all enemies. After attacking, this champion sacrifices 50% of their max HP, then places continuous heals on all allies for 2 turns. This HP sacrifice will happen even if this kills the champion. So its drawback is really strong. You can you can kill yourself if you're low. So I don't know. Let's check. Sacrifice HP equal to 50% of this champion max HP, then equalize HP levels with the target's enemy, then grants an extra turn. The HP levels of both this champion and the target enemy will be brought down to the level of the one with the lowest HP. Doesn't work against the bosses. These champions cannot be killed. So this champion cannot be killed, but the skill should be same for the A2. So we sacrifice our HP, then we change the HP with the enemy. So all these shenanigans, we shouldn't kill ourselves with our skills. A3 revives this champion with 50% of the HP and the full turn meter when dead if all allies are alive. Pretty good passive. Doesn't work if there are multiple Notgars on the same team, or if there are 3 or fewer total champions on the team. I think you need to change the condition regarding the allies. But the idea is quite interesting. So you killed him, he revives one time, maybe limited to one time revive. So far he's really fragile, and he even killed himself, and he cannot hit through the stone skin, so that's why he's not playing on Arena. In the dungeons, of course he's not reliable because he can kill himself, so you cannot auto farm with him. So yeah, you need to tweak his passive, you need to make this unkillable for yourself, and then maybe add some buffs still apart from the HP exchange, then maybe he can work. So he can steal buffs on one skill, then equalize the HP, get an extra turn until kill the enemy. So it sounds like good, but right now not enough. So next champion, this is from the Shadow King faction. Okay, this is a support champion. So A1 attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing block active skills debuff for 2 turns. 2 times 30%, so it's 50% 2 times. Yeah, it's okay. Block active skills, not almost, high chance that will apply. 1 target, unfortunately. Attacks all enemies, has a 80% chance of stealing all buffs from each enemy. This is what I was talking about. That's and with the books it will be 100%. After stealing applies buff spread effect, taking all buffs from this champion and placing them on all allies. Pretty good. Can target dead or living enemies. If the target is dead, places block revive on them. Then attacks all enemies. Each enemy will receive damage equal to 20% of the target enemy max HP. If the target is the boss, this cannot be critical and will ignore enemy shield. If the target is alive, places True Fear debuffs on them for 2 turns and heals all allies. So this skill just again really conditional. So if there are no dead enemies, the first part will not work. If they're all alive, the second part is not enough. Like a 1% True Fear, it's not enough in just small heal. So let's check the passive. Revive one random ally with 30% HP and turn meter each time the enemy is killed. Revive one random ally with at least each time the block revive debuffs placed on enemy. Again, this passive is really conditional. So he's not reviver. His revive is not reliable. He's not controller because he applies the True Fear only on one champion. Yeah, he has a buff strip, but maybe instead of this one, so buff strip and maybe have a turn meter, and as a small bonus revives when the enemy is killed. So yeah, he can turn meter boost and extra turn maybe, and buff strip, and then when someone is killed to revive. But right now his kit is all over the place and no consistency, and which role he should fit in your team. And as only buff stripper, the rest of his kit is pretty much useless. So this is why he is not taking a role on the arena right now. But the passive is, the skill is interesting. It's the only champion who can place block revive on already dead enemies, not on alive. Yeah. And the last champion on our list is from the Knights Revenants faction. I think I have her too. It's Narma, support champion. Attacks on enemy has a 40% chance of increasing the duration of 3 random debuffs on the target by 1 turn. So it's increased to 60%. But if that doesn't have debuffs, then it does nothing. Okay, maybe apply at least something, poison maybe, and then increase the duration. Attacks on enemy has a 75% chance of placing decreased attack for 3 turns only on one enemy. Also heals all allies by 50% of the champion's max HP. The heal increased by 2% for each poison debuff on the target. So it should be all enemies decrease defense, decrease attack, not one enemy. Attacks one enemy has a 75% chance of placing 3 poisons debuffs and poison sensitivity debuff for 3 turns. So this one is okay for like Demon Lord clan boss. So we place poisons and poison sensitivity and decrease attack and heal your enemy. So maybe she can be used on the classic clan boss and as a poisoner and the extents of the poisoner. But now you don't need her there. You can just use the raw damage champions because we have so many stats with all these railings and blessings. We don't need legendary. Or you can use like a Banshee, which is a rare champion, or Venom Mage, which is epic champion. So you don't need legendary, or like a Dark Kael, which again is a epic champion. So for her kit to be better, maybe we need to place decrease attack and decrease defense on one target. Then you can fit like a poison roll and decrease defense and attack roll on the classic clan boss. Then maybe she will be viable there. So far, it's not enough what she's doing, and the rest of the places she doesn't do enough again. So this was it, guys. This was my list of the worst Raid Shadow Legends champion. Did I forget someone, or maybe you don't agree with someone included in the list? Please write down in the comments, and don't forget to like this video, to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. hop on our Discord, the link in the description. And yeah, see you in another video. Solar is out.